My favorite game of all time is Outer Wilds, and I particularly love the DLC. I'm going to be making this lantern from the DLC, which will function like this. I did not model this. This is someone else's model, Malinum on Twitter. I'll leave a link to the exact file that I made this from down below. But let's just jump into the process of building this lantern. I started by disassembling this light here. It was used for one of my reptiles, but I don't use it anymore. And I've got this cord here with a switch that hooks up to a regular light bulb holder here. I did have to undo these screws to get this ceramic piece off that clamped this on. I then measured this part here very carefully with calipers, and I'm ignoring the screw part. Just how wide is this and how long? This is a model of all the brown parts of the lantern. I'm just going to disable that. And then you can see here that what I've done is I've modified this brown bit here by creating a shape that's the width and length that I need for that light bulb holder to fit. And then I've subtracted that from this object here. The next step was to import this into Orca Slicer. Usually I do use Cura, but for some reason it was having issues reading the model, and instead I used Orca. And so here we can go and scroll through all the layers that this is going to print off here. You can see exactly where we start to have that removed area. And this is what the final product is going to look like. Here you can see the printer laying down the first layer of the base for the lantern. So here's the part fresh off from the print. There's some stringing inside that needs to be removed, as well as this brim, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm running into an issue here where I'm trying to feed the cord in through the hole on the back here, and then there's room here to pull it up and loop it back. But this is it's too tight, so I might have to drill it. So drilling it out just a little tiny bit allowed me to pull this wire here all the way through and up. Okay, so I've managed to get this in. I made the tolerances way too tight, but I was able to pound it in. And so let's give this a test. Put in a light bulb here. This is a smart light bulb so that the entire lamp will be smart at the end. Let's try turning this on. And that's right, perfect. I've printed out and arranged the brown parts of the model. The silver parts I painted in this hammered dark bronze color, which I think gives it a really nice, like, hammered metal look. I've also started gluing the pieces together for the handle. Okay, so here we have the handle portion done. I really wish there were some mechanical connections here because the glue is really, like, these parts, it's a little bit tricky to get them to connect properly. And just having some better mechanical connections would have been really nice for this. Okay, so here's the lantern base, all completed. I had to actually hammer this down with a mallet to get it over the edge of this ceramic piece, which is ever so slightly wider than this. So even though I accounted for that and I modified the file, it still wasn't quite enough. So that's something that I should have done a little bit better. But this is in here. Some of it's glued, some of it isn't, but quite a bit of it actually just fits with friction. Here's the finished product. I just glued the top and wings onto this transparent piece of PETG. It doesn't look transparent, I guess it's translucent, but it does let light through. And so I can actually slot this in, if I'm careful here with one hand, like that. And then we have the finished lantern. It was really important that I be able to change the light bulb. Now, because the way the light bulb is sitting, it really does kind of only light up this top half. And I was thinking it might make sense to, if I were to make this again, maybe modify it so that the light bulb sits lower down, so that it would light up more of this lantern part. Option might be to use some sort of string light that can get down farther here. That could work, but I'm really happy with the way that this has turned out. This is going to be my bedside lantern. It's going to sit right there on my bedside next to my frog tank. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I plan to make more Outer Wilds content, so if anyone is interested in seeing more builds like this using a 3D printer, I will continue to make these videos.